Fellow Primary 7, welcome to today's lesson of Social Studies by Mr. Kiggundu Richard. Today we are going to look at irrigation, but before we go to the real lesson, we need to review something about the importance of rivers in Africa. That is what we looked at the other time. We saw some of the uses, how rivers are important, like of course being a source of fish, providing us water for domestic irrigation, industrial use, helping in the generation of hydroelectric power, people of course using them for recreation purposes, and even some places in rivers being used for transport, just to mention. Then we were also looking at the problems associated or facing people who live near rivers. Of course, we looked at waterborne diseases. We saw that at times rivers flood, and when they flood, they destroy property, they destroy houses, they make roads impassable. Then we saw that when we are using them for transport, you find that at times waves can make boats or water vessels capsize. So then we also looked at problems, of course, facing rivers in Africa, which included overfishing, overusing of the water in the rivers, then maybe dumping industrial waste. Today we want to look at irrigation. We are looking at irrigation because we shall find that when we are looking at the way rivers are important to us, there is where we said they provide water for irrigation. What is irrigation today? Irrigation, we look at it as the artificial supply of water to a garden or to a farm. Why do people do irrigation? People carry out irrigation, of course, to increase or to improve upon the harvest. Irrigation helps to turn a dry land into an arable land. Then we see that irrigation can help a farmer to grow crops throughout the year. That is from January to December, meaning with irrigation, we don't have issues of seasons. A farmer can produce crops anytime. We have a number of methods which include drip method, bucket method. In bucket method here, we look at like when you use a watering can, it is still bucket method. Drip, when you look at using bottles, that is still drip method. Then canal method, then overhead method. We are going to show some of the pictures showing these methods of irrigation. One of the pictures you are seeing there is the one of canal irrigation or the gravitational method. Here, trenches or channels are dug through the garden and water is supplied to the crops the way you are seeing it there. In the bucket method, a farmer uses a watering can or can use a bucket to water the crops. This one is majorly manual. The farmer has to be there himself or herself, or the farmer may send children to do the irrigation. Okay, this method is mostly used by the small scale farmers. As we are seeing in the diagram, we see it is a bit tiresome. A farmer may have to use a lot of energy to see that can do the irrigation throughout the garden. Then there is another one which we call the overhead or sprinkler method. Here, of course, you may connect pipes and sprinklers within the garden. Then a farmer will release water somewhere, and then the garden will be like it is receiving rains. So it is another good method. When you go to Kachira Sugar Estate, you'll find that method is there. It is still the sprinkler method or overhead method. The sprinklers are there. When we continue, we look at the drip method. The drip method, one time our president went and was encouraging people because to put at least bottles within their gardens, and this they were applying the drip method. Let us continue. Now, with the drip method, some of the captions are here. It is a bit also tiresome. There is one drip, the first drip, which we are going to see. You'll find that it is also scientific. The water comes in the form of drops. When we continue, we look at the advantages of this. It is the same that crops are grown throughout the year. Irrigation improves upon the yields. Then irrigation may make the dry land into arable land or for cultivation. Then we have two types of irrigation. The other ones were methods, types of irrigation. One is perennial. Perennial is applied in places where the area is dry. So the irrigation is carried out time after time because there is continuous supply of water to the garden. Somebody may just have to stop the water some parts of the day, but almost all the parts of the year. And yet the other second method, the annual method, this is only done in the dry season, and in the wet season we receive the rains naturally. We have some of the irrigation schemes, as we are going to see. You receive in your notes the Richard.Ges in Senegal, the Gezira in Sudan, Moya Tebere in Kenya, Doho in Uganda, Mobuku in Uganda, Val in South Africa, Lake Chad in Chad, on Lake Chad, and even the crops are there. We thank you for being great students. Let us do that activity. Stay safe. I thank you for being a great class.